Okay, so the battery died on the pump, which means we have to put a new one in. Take the flat side, insert it into the little top part, put the top back on, twist in. You're gonna push down on it. You can take a butter knife, put it into the little slot that's in there and twist it, and it's gonna lock. Now the pump is turning on, or it's loading. And when this happens, so we have a pump error, delivery suspended, settings unchanged, pump restart needed. So you get a pump error. It's just saying it's disconnected. You select OK. You have to go through the process of making sure the date and time are correct. So it is currently loading the Medtronic screen. So when this happens, okay, so if it's going to show up about power loss. So if the battery or power is lost for 10 minutes or more, you're going to have to re-enter in the date and time. Just going to scroll down. You're going to select OK. So it's going to show what the last date and time was on the pump. So right now it is 3:20. So you're just going to go over, I'll highlight what you need, go over to the next side, press the down arrow until you get to the time. And it's PM, so you leave it on PM, and then you go down to the date, and it is, it is today, the 22nd. So you just gotta scroll over to the date, and it's the 22nd. No, it's not. It is the 23rd. No. Okay. I'm gonna save it. Press the little save button that's at the bottom. Okay, so now this is gonna come up. It is active insulin cleared. Any active insulin amount has been cleared. Press OK. Needs a new reservoir and set. You're gonna see it at the bottom. You click the middle button. This is the new reservoir and set. You're gonna select new reservoir and set. It's gonna ask you to remove it from the body. You click next. You're gonna take the reservoir out of the pump. It twists. You're gonna remove it. And then you're gonna select the rewind button. And it's just gonna keep doing this until it is done rewinding. Take a while. This is a step that does take a while. But it lets you know. The pump will alert you when it's done rewinding. So okay, and we're back. So for a new reservoir and set, it's gonna show up to do that. It's gonna say fill new reservoir, connect new tubing to the reservoir, but don't connect this to your body. So this part is where we get one of the mini med reservoirs. Get Get your vial of insulin, rubbing alcohol, and a cotton pad. Carefully pour some rubbing alcohol to a cotton pad. I'm gonna wipe off the insulin top to sanitize. I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna open this. Okay, and this is the syringe with the needle, and this is the top part that goes and you stick it onto the vial of insulin. So what you do is you pull it to the point of what goes into this one is 180 ml. Yeah, 180 ml. So you pull a syringe down to the second line above the 2. Take it. The insulin vial, you carefully puncture it. And then you carefully keep your thumb on top of the syringe and you carefully flip it up. Push down on the insulin, the plunger. And what it does is it creates a vacuum that is going to slowly fill. Or you can do what I do, which is technically not the proper method, but you can carefully pull it to where you need to with the insulin. And you're gonna notice sometimes there's like a bubble in there. If there's a bubble, you could tap the side of the syringe so then the bubble goes to the top. You carefully push it back in there to get the bubble back into the insulin vial. And then you carefully just pull it where it needs to be. So it is at the mark it needs to be. You carefully flip it up again to remove the insulin vial. Now to get this top part off, you carefully twist it, pull it off. You're then gonna have you have to remove the plunger, so you're gonna twist it, and then the plunger comes off. You don't need that anymore. Now for a new insulin vial, you need to have the little mini, the Mio Advance. And this is the infusion set. This is the infusion set. So what you're gonna do is, you need the little cannula. I'm gonna move the little tape piece. You're gonna take the top part. You're gonna put it onto the reservoir and you're gonna twist it. It will lock. When it locks, it means it's connected. Okay. Connect tubing to reservoir. So we're still on this step. I'm gonna click next. You're gonna put, it's wanting the reservoir to be placed into the pump and lock. So you're gonna put it in the top part. You're gonna twist it. And you're gonna feel it lock. Then you're gonna select next. So then the next step is select load and hold until complete. So you're just gonna press the button. It's gonna beep and then it's gonna have a nice little check mark and then you press next. So on this part, you gotta fill the tubing. So you disconnect right here. It's got a little pincher, pull it out, and there is gonna be a very tiny needle. And on this part, it wants you to hold the fill button until it drops up here. So you're gonna hold the mini button. It's gonna start filling. And what you're gonna do is watch the little needle and then you're gonna see some droplets come out. So once the droplets come out, you're gonna select next. the next part I'm not going to have on camera, but the next part involves inserting the infusion set. So this is the little infusion set. There's a little plastic piece you take off. You have to disinfect the body part that you want this attached to. Typically they recommend the abdomen. When you go to do that, you just clean it off with a cotton swab with alcohol, which is placed to the side. And then you stick this part. There is a little, you can't really see it, but it's like a little thing of arrows. Whatever way that's facing is where the connector is going to face that you have to pull it out. So this goes into a connector, and this is going to be the which way it faces. So it's going to go in like that. And then what you do is to put that on, take this little itty bitty baby part out, and you're going to press it down, this part down. It's going to cause this to attach. And then you just plug your insulin in, and it's going to have you fill the cannula, which you need to do in order for the insulin to pump out.